Did you discover anything new about the GS ball? Brock asked. Unfortunately, Kurt had not. I don't know who made it or where, but it's protected by a strange lock. I've never seen such a system. Ash wondered what Professor Oak would say, but Kurt had a plan. No one knows more about Pokeballs than I do. I will get to the bottom of this, he promised. If you don't mind, please leave the ball with me a little longer. Sure, I don't mind, Ash replied. Well, gang, looks like there still may be one more Johto mystery yet to be solved. Let's go.
Pokemon Johto! Pokemon Johto!
Hello and welcome back to Every Pokémon Ever. As at the beginning of every video, I'd like to mention that I covered both the cloning glitch for Pokemon and items and the time travel glitch, and will definitely use these before training Pokemon today. Before we begin, there was something I wanted to touch on, and that was the Crystal exclusive Battle Tower. If you'll remember, as we passed by Route 40 the first time, I mentioned it was here, so what is it? Basically, for those trainers who want an extended challenge and love the thrill of battling, they put this here to give you some additional challenges to win some stat boosting prizes. Each level cap included different opponents, some of which are representative of real Game Freak employees, which is amazing. But there is no one true leader of the tower, just a collection of opponents. And in Japan, it even allowed connectivity to the mobile system GB, a Game Boy add-on that connected to the internet via your mobile phone, to allow users to input data from each other into the battle tower. What a time to be alive. Anyway, I thought now would be a good time to explain what it is since we beat the game, for any of you looking for a little more pizzazz in your Johto journey. Okay, now let's talk evolution. An important part of the concept of Pokemon as a whole was the ability to trade between 2 or 3 versions. This has been covered a gazillion times, and I have absolutely no need to dive into it. Let's just say whether it was the thought of playing multiplayer games on the Game Boy, or the cute little character designs, Pokemon came out of the gate running and hasn't stopped. When Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal came out, they were no exceptions. With certain Pokemon locked to each title, of course by playing Crystal on this journey, there are definitely some that we missed because of this. First, let's cover all of the Pokemon that we can transfer over from Gold and Silver. Note before we begin that once we trade Pokemon over to Crystal, we are going to clone said Pokemon for our living dex and then evolve. You get the point by now. In Pokemon Gold, you can find a Mankey on Route 42. After trading it over, we can evolve one into Primeape. A new fish Pokemon called Remoraid can be landed with a Super Rod on Route 44. Trade it and clone one to evolve into an octopus? What? Octillery comes from a fish? What? Mareep is one of the easiest Pokemon to get in Gold and Silver, but it is notably absent from Crystal. At one point I even contemplated stealing the Ampharos from the Glitter Lighthouse, but then I decided that'd be a bad idea. No need, we can find one on Route 32 early in the game and move it over to evolve one into Flaffy, and then an Ampharos of our very own. Vulpix can be found over on Pokemon Silver version in many places, like Route 36. After we trade one, we'll need to use one of our Firestones to grab a Ninetales as well. And the last exclusive Mon to trade over would be Girafarig, which can be found on Route 43. Our good old trade evolution still exists as well, and these Pokemon can be retained to our trainer ID by trading them to Gold and Silver and then trading back. What's the point? Well, using this method we can evolve a Kadabra into Alakazam, Graveler into Golem, Haunter into Gengar, and Machoke into Machamp. But the fun doesn't stop there! Exclusive items. By making Pokemon hold special items and then trading them, some of your old friends become all new Johto Pokemon. This is where the crazy path to Pokemon Masterdom began. They would show off some of these, like Slowking, in the movies, and you would wonder how in the world do you get one of those?
I could use pants.
Even going so far as to level up a Slowbro to level 100 to discover this isn't working! Some of these items we have gotten along the way, and after cloning, of course, we can trade Pokemon to get some new evolutions. One such trade would be an Onix holding the metal coat. To get a new Pokemon called Steelix. Trading another metal coat with a Scyther gets us a new steel type called Caesar. Edward Scissorhands. If you remember, the Silphco attendant gifted us an upgrade. We can trade Porygon holding this to get Porygon 2. If it's anything like a Windows update, I don't want it. It turns out, after much research, RIP level 100 Slowbro, that a Slowpoke needs a trade item called the King's Rock to evolve into Slowking. The item itself can be retrieved from a very curious man in the basement of Slowpoke Well. Make sure to clone the King's Rock before evolving, because we also need to trade a Poliwhirl while holding one to gain a new Pokemon called Politoed. And it turns out Seadra got an evolution as well. We need an item called a Dragon Scale? Aw, It's hiding in the depths of Mount Mortar. I'm sorry for not mentioning this last time when we were literally right there! I dropped the ball, guys. If you'll remember the route we took to the Karate King, this intersection along the way can shift south and you'll find the Dragon Scale up on a ledge. Trade a Seadra while holding it to get Kingdra. Awesome. And who's this lady? Time capsule? We can what? Yes, it turns out our acquaintance Bill was cooking up something in the second floor of the Pokemon Center. A time capsule that allows us to trade with our past selves without the overuse of time travel. All this time traveling mumbo jumbo is one of the reasons our reality has been broken here. Luckily, I know a guy. But it turns out the me from 3 years ago is actually a super chill dude. Of course, our goal here is to get a Gen 2 Living Dex. The Pokemon we move up here will still have originated from Gen 1 Kanto, so we'll need to take them on down to the breeder to get a Gen 2 version of that Pokemon. Then clone, then evolve. Make sense? So, past me traded over a Bulbasaur, and after cloning and evolving we can get a Gen 2 Ivysaur and Venusaur. Charmander came on up, which eventually got us a Charmeleon, and then Charizard. And of course, Squirtle can lead us to Wartortle and Blastoise. It feels so weird to say that we have the Johto versions of the Kanto starters. Thanks, breeding. We can also give the Johto treatment to an Omanite, which we can evolve into Omastar, and Kabuto to evolve into Kabutops.
1 second. Oh, okay. I'll just sit here, I guess.
Hey, old man. Special delivery.
Damn you, Amazon Prime guy. Damn you.
What is it?
So this is the Mystical GS Ball. Some of you may recognize it as a red herring that went absolutely freaking nowhere in the Orange Island arc of the anime.
Psyduck, that GS ball isn't a toy! Now get back in your Pokeball before I start bouncing you around!
Those lucky enough to get their hands on one would have to leave it with Kurt for a day, and then he would return it, saying that we should travel to the Ilex Forest to unlock its secrets. But how does one get such a rare artifact? The history of this ball is shrouded in mystery, mainly because of a cancelled event plan for the Western Pokemon world. In Japan, the ball could straight up be obtained during a special promotional time, via the mobile GB adapter we talked about at the beginning of this episode. You would then visit a trade attendant in the Goldenrod Pokemon Center, also known as the Pokemon Communication Center in Japan only. Much, much bigger than your average Pokemon Center.
The inside's bigger than the outside?
Yes.
And they would say they had a strange Pokeball and that we could have it. It seems that this event was initially planned for Western players, but as it turns out, Game Freak just said, you know what, never mind. And thus, after all the anime hype, Ash just leaves the ball with Kurt and they hope to God that you just forget about it. While Western players didn't get the special item, it did make a comeback in the Pokemon Crystal Virtual Console game, finally giving us English players what we have been asking for decades. Anyway, that's where we will be getting our GS ball from, just to clear up the fact that you cannot obtain this ball on your original Game Boy copy of Crystal today. Okay. Now again, in the original event you would have to connect that mobile GB thing and actually do a fun text-based quiz and minigame to get this ball. Nowadays we just have to beat the main story, and then enter the Goldenrod Pokemon Center to be approached by this random nurse lady who's like, welp, you'll do. So, we have the magical Pokeball. Let's deliver it over to our man Kurt, who will get lost in thought for 24 hours? Nobody's got time for that. Let's time travel! One more time to see what he says tomorrow. Apparently something we did made him run outside. Aw, you poor child. He says the forest is alive? Huh. You feeling okay? Well. And as it turns out, this whole time the mystery will lead us to the Ilex Forest. Who knew? In our initial pass through, so long ago, wasn't it? You may have spotted the seemingly useless shrine. If we put our mystical GS ball on it.
Here we go.
It turns out that Celebi, a mystical being known as the time travel Pokemon, has come here through a rift in time to challenge us to battle. This is a rare opportunity to catch one more Pokemon only thought to be a legend. Of course, our Master Balls are still with us. No problem! Now the universe is ours to control, to command! Ultimate power! I guess this is just one more check on our list of steps to become a Pokemon Master. Hopefully now that we own this bad boy, we can fix all of the havoc we've caused by messing with the space-time continuum. And,
Wait, what? What? Oh, no. Ah! Dude! You left me here for 2 days! You know, until just now, I actually forgot you were here. Sorry.
it is impossible to obtain the following in Gen 2 of the game. The legendary birds, Mewtwo, and Mew? Seriously? We made this whole series a thing and we can't even get a full living dex? Even if we got them from our Gen 1 self, these 5 Pokemon in particular cannot make babies. I guess we just have to stare at this unfinished living dex for the rest of time.
Well, looks like I don't need you anymore. No, wait! I don't want to go! Sorry. Bye. Yeah!
I'm so sad. Until next time. Unless... Wait. Hold on. We're not giving up that easy! There just has to be a way! I won't quit until I make this happen. Join me on the next episode as I show you how to get these 5 unreachable Gen 2 legendaries. Stay awesome, Pokemon fans!
This message is for Cody, the Pokemon League champion. Please, push the button and then find me. My name is Luca.
Every Pokémon Ever is 100% non-profit, by the fans for the fans, but there is a way that you can help out. We're supporting St. Jude Children's Hospital. Donate today and help end childhood cancer.
And have some fun, turn up the